of the NBA draft, which is now completed. Zachary Reese-Archet and Alex Sarr go 1-2, marking the third time in the modern draft era the top two picks did not attend college. First time it's happened since 2003. LeBron and Dirk go 1-2. First such instance where both were international players. The trend continued throughout the lottery as there were 6 lottery players selected without any collegiate experience, which is tied for the most in any lottery class all time. It hadn't happened in more than 20 years. That was 2001 when 4 of the 6 players came straight out of high school. This is a topic we had last night with Jay Bilas. I was curious about the draftability of the big man. And we saw the 2 men that met up in the national championship game, Donovan Clingan and Zach Edey, both top 10, 7 and 9, marking the second time a pair of players 7-2 or more went in the top 10 of a draft. That hadn't happened since 1991. That was Dikembe Mutombo and Luke Longley. First collegiate player off the board, Reed Sheppard. Number 3 out of Kentucky to the Houston Rockets. Stefan Castle from the national champions from UConn. Number 4 to the Spurs. Castle was the first of 2 top 10 picks for San Antonio. They drafted Rob Dillingham at number 8. Then my least favorite thing that happens, he's got the Spurs hat, but not really because he got traded to Minnesota for an unprotected first rounder in 2031. This is a 12-year-old person. And Jay, I want to ask you about the guy you like the most, who you think can contribute immediately second. But I want to start with Dalton Knecht, and here's why. We talked about this last night, how much I watch college hoops, how much I love it. This guy, Jay, had 35 or more 6 times, and he jumped up a level from Northern Colorado to the SEC. He's a first-team All-American. 37 the last time we saw him in the Elite Eight against Purdue. He's got length, he's got handle, he can score. I feel like the Lakers found a really capable and ready player at 17. I'm just curious what you think they got.
Well, first, Scott, I think you're severely undervaluing San Antonio's ability to scout 12-year-olds with that 2031 pick.
Fair.
You know, the Spurs front office does a great job of scouring 11 and 12-year-olds, so they'll be prepared in 2031.
Those U12 travel teams are great. Those U12, you got to watch out for them. I'm with you.
But you're right on Dalton Knecht, and I think for the Lakers and new coach J.J. Redick and Rob Pelinka, their GM, they got a player in Knecht that can contribute right away and space the floor with Anthony Davis and LeBron James. And the Lakers needed shooting. And you know J.J. Redick, he values shooting. He's a shooter. He knows what a good shooter looks like. And Dalton Knecht is an outstanding shooter. You know, for most of the year, I was calling him the Roy Hobbs of basketball because he essentially came out of nowhere to be a first-team All-American and SEC Player of the Year. And SEC teams that played against him had, you know, kind of like the Jordan rules, they had connect rules with how they were going to guard him and how they're going to try to attack him when they had the ball to make him guard. But with his size, and he's an excellent athlete, really good range on his shot, just beautiful form on it, and he can also put the ball on the deck and get to the rim and finish with authority. I think the one thing that Knecht needs to do is he needs to become a more focused defender. He proved that he could get better, and he got better under Rick Barnes. But I think he's got an even higher ceiling there. But, you know, it's funny, like there were so many teenagers drafted, and when he was dropping, one of the things that was said as well, he's 23 years old. Well, all those guys are going to be 23. I mean, how long do you want the guy to play? You can plug him in right away, and he can play. And I think the Lakers at 17 got a real value there because he basically a lottery pick dropped down in their lap.
There's so many picks tonight. It felt like, to me, tonight more than ever that I can recall before, where there's just probably a great deal of mystery about the readiness of these young men to contribute immediately. But somebody's going to be ready to hit the deck running. Who's that guy, Jay? Who's ready to come October, put him out there, give him minutes, and he can contribute? Is there somebody that jumps off to you?
You know, I tend to think as far as being able to play right away and contribute to winning, I really like Devin Carter from Providence. He's got great length. He's just 6'4", but he's one of the best defensive rebounders, not only in this draft, but in the country last year. As a guard, he finished top 10 in the country in defensive rebounding. And Devin Carter impacts the game on the defensive end by getting steals and deflections. As a guard, he blocks shots on the perimeter and around the basket. And when he does get a defensive rebound, he'll go to the offensive glass as well and stick his nose in there and rebound. But he can rip and run and take it the other way. But truly especially with his length. He is a big-time athlete as well. So I think you plug him into an NBA team. You know, you and I talked, I think, last night about Stefon Castle of UConn.
Yes.
You know, those guys make winning plays, and I put Carter in there as well. And look at what a guy, I would liken both of them in a way, more so Castle, but to Drew Holiday when he came out of UCLA. Like, the guy makes winning plays. And whether he's going to be an all-star or not, he's got championships. And I think those guys are winners and can really contribute to winning at the NBA level.
All right, last quick one on the way out. In years past, it's been the end of the second round, and you've ended every interview that you're going to be face down in the gutter. It's only 11:26. Are we still face down in the gutter? Are we good?
It'll take me longer, but I will get there, I promise you.
As for the Spurs, a ways away from a title, but you get Victor Wembanyama, and you're looking down the road long term. And the guy they take tonight is a young man, Stefan Castle out of UConn. But Danny Hurley called him a championship player. He called himself a worker. What's your sense of what the Spurs added in Castle?
Yeah, I was really glad to see the Spurs make this pick because there were some rumors out there they were thinking about pairing up Donovan Clingan with Wemby, and that would have been interesting, kind of matching what Minnesota did defensively with two bigs. But they really needed a guard in the mix that's a winner, that is versatile. This guy's got the potential to be one of the better perimeter defenders in this league. Scott, I just love his toughness. He has a grit about him that I think is really important to bring into your organization. He also totally understands how to play, and that's innate. In addition to what Danny Hurley was able to do for him, he just has a great feel for the game. He can beat you in a number of ways. He clearly has to improve his perimeter shooting at the NBA level, but there are so many things he does that just say winner, and that is what you need at that spot in the NBA to pair with a young superstar in Victor Wembanyama in the front court.
I told you last week Sea Isle was calling. Bethany Beach is calling me. I better not beat you to the beach, man. Get your behind to the shore and enjoy some summertime. You hear?
Will do. Same to you, man. Enjoy your time off. I'll be in touch with you, though. Believe it.
You're the best. Tim Legler, appreciate you, man.